up? Hope everybody had their great Thanksgiving like we talked about. Now that we're here, so we got another weekly update. We got Gary's Ranger here. I don't remember if we talked about it last video. I know we did talk about it, but I don't know if I had it off yet. So we got the cross members off, the engine brace cross member, and then all the tabs are off and clipped and cleaned. So we're in the middle of the CAD processing. So we're gonna do a fabricated mount right here to pick up his coilover and bypass. And then kind of like overlaying that where it'll bolt in. It'll be a cross member that kind of 45s up here and then back over. So that way he can get his air cleaner off and easy. We got the McQueen fiberglass we got a new hood and fenders on the way. Well, not on the way, getting made, I should say. So another week or two, probably 2 weeks, they'll be here. And then we'll just remount a couple of his things, get everything buttoned up on this, and then maybe we'll be done and we can see this thing in the desert, because this is an awesome little Ranger. Gary's got a super nice truck, and between the back half and the front, this is gonna be an extremely nice Ranger. So, to the back, or the front, whichever way you wanna come in. We've made some pretty good progress on the Quicksaw Racing sandrail. You can see here we started pulling off some aluminum stuff. Like this is the upper wing. It got smashed up pretty good, which was what happens. But we got a new one here. As you can see, we got a new box, built a new wing. So pretty happy with this. It actually looks really good. This mounts up here so you guys can kind of get an idea. As soon as I get it, bam, right there. It's not bolted in, so I can't let it go. So that's all done. We just got to throw in some rivets, drill a couple holes, and then mount it. It'll be done. And then there's another wing that kind of goes in this back section. I'll show you up in the front what it kind of looks like so you can get an idea. It's like another wing with a trunk to haul more stuff. About those Cerakoted headers that we got, my bad. I thought they were gonna fit, they do not fit. So, cool. Anyways, luckily the other headers were in good enough condition and just fine. So we dropped the original headers off at Cerakote to get those done, and all we had to do is just buy the new slip-on muffler. So we got 2 new mufflers coming. The headers are at Cerakote. Not a big deal. So through new gaskets, new bolts, and the headers back on that and be done with those. We should have the shocks here any day, and then we can get this thing buttoned up and back to the owner very soon, because he's leaving in like a week for a trip. He also wants us to build a cover that kind of goes over behind the seats here, because he throws some stuff back here. So he just wants to be able to just throw it in there and not worry about it. Have 2 access panels here. We'll get that done. We got a roof on. We still got to throw some weather stripping on the bottom so you don't hear the little tiki-ting. But roof is done. We have the new front hood piece is on and done and bead rolled. It came out really, really nice. The steering rack is in, but I don't know if this was a manufacturer thing or whatever, but we're gonna have to adjust it a little bit, because if you can see, maybe, we have a gap here. So that's where the universal joint is needing to be set to catch all of the splines, and it spaces this off of the actual original mount, 1/2 inch. Still the same steering rack, just new. Not sure if they just ran this thing running on half the splines or not, but I don't like doing that. So we have the new arms got here, new to us, one new, one used. But so we have the arms here waiting for the bearings to get in. We'll put the bearings in, put the suspension on, put the hubs on. I will put a spacer plate in here. I will cycle the suspension, make sure that we're not getting an extreme amount of bump steer. If we do end up getting an extreme amount of bump steer because of this being spaced off, then we will space it back forward, and we'll just have to lengthen the steering shaft bar, which, you know, we could just clip inside there and do a coupler and then extend it out to where it'll be happy. So no big deals. I don't see any reason why this car won't be meeting the deadline for it, and we'll get this going. We have some boxes. I believe I already told you guys on the Chevy what we're doing with that, shock mounts and fuel cell mounts, and then owner is going to take it back and do what he wants with it. Oh, I built an eye wash station. This is for a customer, Lee, for his business. This is just a stupid little mount. Nothing really that cool, but we have a 2026 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro coming in. We're doing a suspension kit, we're doing a front bumper with a winch, and we're doing a side steps on it. So we went with rough country side steps because that's what he liked and the style that he was going for. And then I know a lot of people make different suspension kits, but I like Dirt King. After we went to the Off-Road Expo, I got to talk with the guys, I got to see some of their products. Dirt Kings I'm pretty impressed with. So I decided, let's use those guys. So we got upper arms, we got all new shocks, we have all new hardware and everything to do a front and rear suspension kit on this. So he's gonna be riding really, really good for his hunting trips. We went with a CBI front bumper along with the winch, and then like I said, the rough country steps. So pretty excited, and these are 4130 upper arms, which I do like. Even though the TRD Pro does have billet uppers, I'm kind of old school. I like chromoly. So we'll get that going on this. I haven't had a chance yet to 3D scan the Chevy here and get the shock angle right. Unfortunately, you know, like we talked about, there's a bunch of stuff wrong with this. As first off, you know, you have your shocks here. Well, the bottom is, yeah, so they need to be parallel if you want your shock setup to work right. They have to be in the same angle with each other. And this angle and the bottom distance, not angle, distance is different, which changes the angle. So you're basically gonna get a bunch of coil binding issues. So we'll have to get that fixed. We'll 3D scan the suspension component points and we'll be able to cycle it in CAD and figure out the optimal position for it all to work good with the coilover and the bypass. So we can get that done. I said so again a lot. You guys, stop letting me say so. We're gonna get it done. So I'll see you guys next week.